Yeah.
Yeah?
Oh yeah.
Yeah?
Just tasting it.
Just tasting it? Oh,
Yeah.
oh, that was so gross.
That was good.
So gross. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. How's everybody doing today? We have a Toyota Tacoma.
Wow.
I know, it's like twice in a row I've got that right. So this guy is here getting a full system in. By guy, I mean the truck. This has a factory JBL system in it. So this is a little bit different. Most of these that we do don't have the factory JBL system. They have just the generic system, which I'm fine with. So for this, we're doing replacing the speakers up here, replacing the speakers down here in the door that Fernando's already done. Ground zero kit all in place. And then now he's getting ready to start on the rear door. This is getting no voice. We have no voice. Do you have your phone?
No, I don't have my phone.
Go get your phone, see if we have voice.
Did you turn the volume off?
There's no volume to turn up, it's a microphone. Yeah, mic's on. You got voice? We got voice. Okay. Okay. Anyways, back at it. External amp, yes. So let's take a look at this JBL system here real quick. So it comes with the radio. Comes with the little 2.5s in the dash. JBL 6.9 in the door. In the back, there's going to be a 6.5. And then back here is where the factory amplifier subwoofer goes. So this is going to get an Amp Pro, the new TY13 Part 2 that comes with the new harness to integrate into these behind the radio. So we still have to pull the radio out to get up there to put in our Amp Pro. L7T, this had, now with the JBL, this is an all integrated piece. It doesn't have a pocket like this over here. So he's opted just to leave this panel off. I, of course, was like, just go buy the normal panel. No, this is fine. I said, whatever, because no one sees it, seats up. So the factory amp has to stay in place. We have a T harness to go into this so that we can get our speakers, but because it's an Amp Pro, it needs to stay. That's gonna Tosh link out. And for those of you that don't know, let's go back over here to the bench. And here is the Amp Pro here. We've added in the Tosh link adapter. And that is gonna go into the Helix V8 DSP. This has a, other side, sorry. Has the Tosh link input located right there, or digital input. And so we'll be going directly out of this into that. This is going to go up underneath the driver's front seat. This is the amp board that we've made for it. So this goes up underneath. The amplifier sits here in the back. And then on the driver's passenger side, we made a shorter version of it. And that's actually in the truck right now because I was test fitting the amplifier. Hang on. And that is going to have the BLAM 501. This is going to be the BLAM 501, a shorter version of it. Look at this guy. It's 500 watts. Look how tiny this thing is. It's like, I have small hands, but I mean, all right, you guys have seen, you guys all know how big these things are. So there you go. Look at that. It's a cute little amp. 8-gauge input. Power. Over here you have your RCA. There's no silly plug. It's got a bass knob. Gain control, subwoofer, bass boost. Oh, sorry. So that's gonna come out of the Helix, because the Helix has an output for the sub amp. So that's gonna power that little guy. And then he's getting, those speakers are BLAM. So we got the GI logo here. So that's that. And then I just finished the bass knob. So there's the BLAM bass knob, that's the little light and whatnot. So that's gonna go right there. And then in the dash, it's getting the BLAM tweeters. This is the factory here. And this is the tweeter we're gonna replace it with. So we have these nice little BLAM speakers that are gonna go up in the dash. I like the little mounts that they have here. These actually work, they're bent the right direction. So really nice, digging those for sure. So this will go up into the dash. And what we'll do is we'll remove this bracket, this connector here, and connect it in there because it's already JBL, so it's full active. Fuses haven't even started on that yet because we haven't even got to that. So this is going to be 8-channel. How this is going to work is it's going to 1 and 2 are going to run the tweeters, 3 and 4 are going to run the front mid bass, 5 and 6 will run the rear tweeters, and 7 and 8 will run the rear mid bass. It's a coaxial going in the rear. We have to run a set of wires into the door for that so that we can do it. Luckily, Toyota isn't too bad, so we'll be able to get those wires in there easily enough. When I say easy, it won't be easy. It's gonna suck. Is that everything?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So Fernando already got this door done with the sound treatment. So it's all insulated up. He was just waiting for me to do this so that we could put the door back on.
That's it.
Everything in that car is 10 millimeter. Oh, I know, right? It's a beautiful thing. Blam, blam. Thank you, ma'am. But yeah, so this is getting a full BLAM system. It's getting the BLAM Relax. So let's take a look at those. Hold on. It's a cool name. Relax, that is. So there you go. You got the BLAM Relax coaxials. And then, what's that? Oh, is it that little weird speaker? Yeah, hold on, I'll come take a look at it. So this is the coaxial for the rear. It's got the cast, it's like a polycarbonate or some kind of plastic basket. Tweeter matches the front tweeter, and then we'll be bi-amping them, so we're just gonna unsolder these 2 leads off of here and attach them to our new wires so that we can go active on this. Let's go take a look at that. There. We are not a BLAM or Helix dealer, so he got the amplifiers. So yeah, there's the factory little 3.5 and this giant plastic basket. It's pretty cool. By cool, I mean, wow, okay.
Why not put in a beer?
I don't know. This is the first BLAM system we're doing, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
First Helix. Yeah.
Is it the first Helix?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I count the mini DSP that we've played with
like
for a year and a half
customer.
now. Yeah, okay, for a customer. Good call. And these are the BLAM 6x9s. So this is the Relax 6x9. I think I still have one over here. Hold on, I can grab that out of here. Move that out of the way. I won't be using. These are the crossovers. So it's got tweeter in, tweeter out crossovers only. So that's nice. So this would just be if you're going to use a passive. I haven't had a chance to look at the 6x9s yet. So let me take them over here, because I just grabbed all the stuff I was going to have to laser and got that all done. So there you go. So it's a treated, looks like some kind of cloth cone, rubber surround. Feels metal for the little auto former there. This is a stamped basket for sure. So yeah, this is a metal basket, unlike this that is the cast material basket. Is this? Yeah, this is also, yes, this is also the Relax, just making sure. Now the one thing that's unique about these is I believe these are all 2 ohm. Yeah, so this is a 2 ohm. So this will make some of you guys happy that are like, I want a better speaker that's other than JBL or Infinity. The Relax comes in a 2 ohm. So you have a 2 ohm set of coaxials here, and I believe these are also 2 ohm. Are the 6x9s 2 ohm?
Yes.
Yep, and so these are also 2 ohm.
Yep, they all 2 ohms.
So you get them in a coaxial or a
5x7.
And a 5x7. 6x9, 5x7. Oh, so that's the 5x7. I thought that was a 6x9 coaxial. Okay, whatever. Oh no, they do come in 6. They come in coaxial or separates.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Coaxial separate, coaxial separate.
And they're 2 ohm.
Oh yeah. Very nice. High efficiency.
Night at the Roxbury's. Nice. How can I contact you for a quote or make an appointment? You got to go through Paul. So it's all going through Paul.
You just gotta be patient.
I would start with email. I believe it's 5-star if you spell it all out at gmail.com is the best place to start that whole thing. That Tacoma is going to be loud. Oh, it's totally going to be loud because so the one unique thing about this, the Helix, and the reason why we're going to be going active on the rear instead of like bridging is that according to everything we've read on this does not bridge. So it's 8 channels of audio at 2 ohm. So it'll do 4 ohm or 2 ohm. So 1 through 4 will be front, 5 through 8 will be rear, all 2 ohm, all max power. It's like 150 by 8 or something like that.
150.
Yeah, 150 by 8. So, and it's tiny. It's tiny. It's really nice. It's like if you've ever seen an Amp Pro, it's pretty nice. So, pretty excited about this. But so you have all your RCs here, and I believe, yeah. So there's your line output. It's nice that they give you an actual left and right line output instead of just like one. This also has remote turn on output here. So your main remote turn on in is here. Your remote turn on output is here. These also have a basic load resistor built into them. There's a lot of configuration you can do inside of this that is like, okay, that's cool. So, pro tip of the day. Do you have a pro tip of the day, Fernando?
Don't spend too much time in the laser.
Don't spend too much time on the laser? Don't ask Fernando for advice when building something on the laser. He's so freaking picky. So, yeah, he's just really picky.
Right on top of the...
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, dude.
So, originally, just to give you an idea of what we were talking about when it comes to BLAM, or Fernando being picky. So, originally, we had this BLAM logo. Like, I like that one because that kind of looks like that. And he goes, no, they make the thing where it says Guy's name. So then we went to this one and it just didn't turn out that good. You can barely see Guy's name. So I was like, all right, I got to redo that. So then we took out the little border and we came up with this one. And there again, like Guy's name didn't really show up that well, but the BLAM and the Driven by Passion turned out really nice. So then it was just do a deep cut on all of it. Guy's name turned out really nice, but the BLAM and the Passion, as you can see, like the Passion just doesn't look as nice as it did there. So from there, it was take it all apart, deconstruct the whole logo so that we can do multiple passes and different styles of burns. So what you end up with is the Guy's name right there is really easy to see. And then this is the same. So you basically split the logo into 2 and gave him the look that he was going for.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
And that's what Fernando makes me do all day. So, what 10-inch sub do you usually pair with the audio control 800 going into Honda Accord? Want as much bass as possible. You got 800 to 900 watts there. Go to town, man. Go to town. Get something big and ballsy, and yeah, get something big. Get a monster one, man. I mean, you get like a T1, Rockford T1,
yeah.
Ground Zero.
Ground Zero makes that one, yeah.
You have the, which one do you have in your car right now?
I have the uranium.
Uranium. Yeah, he's got the uranium in there.
But
Ooh,
it's
power
that one is like 500 watts.
Was that only really? That one's 500 watts? Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That's a beast.
It is a beast. And it is like,
but yeah, get yourself a. I mean, you got Q class, L7 Q class 10 in the factory box. That would be insane. That would be nice. That's like the perfect amount of power right there.
Yep.
What do you think about using Amp Pro with Toshlink versus scrapping the junk? So like keeping the radio, not keeping the radio seems to be the question that you get asked a lot. This is a 2020. It's got the JBL radio. We can do it. I personally don't like this factory radio in any iteration. Toyotas make crappy radios. They just make crappy radios. So I would have preferred to just go with a new radio if it were me, but that wasn't in the cards. So you do the Amp Pro and you do the next best thing. You got to remember, an Amp Pro is a great tool and it's a wonderful thing, and it saves you a ton of money. because you don't have to buy a new radio, and you get to keep the factory look, which a lot of people like the factory look. In this case, the aftermarket look is pretty right on with what the factory looks like, so it's not like it's that big of a deal. But in some cars, you would never even like, I don't want to put a radio in that. The Amp Pro is definitely the best solution, or the AR, or the Zen, or whatever it is. It's just, when it comes to Toyota, I always want to replace the radio no matter what. Audison is tiny, loud, and clear too. Oh no, we know. Duh. Yeah, Christian, it's okay. It's alright, we know that. Bridged. It's bridged internally. Exactly. Focal, Flax, or BLAM. I don't know yet. I haven't heard the BLAMs. Oh yeah, Oscar. You would know more about this than I would. It's internally bridged. Well, so it's like a 16-channel amp then? I mean, I don't know. What's up, fellas? I mean, I've read the owner's manual, and it was kind of not a lot of information, but PDX V9 or HD 900.5. You know, it's funny. We actually have done a car that actually had both of those in there. He took out the 900.5 and put in the PDX V9. He swore that the PDX V9 sounded a whole ton better. Then he came back because he got his 900.5 fixed, and we ended up putting both of them in there. We put the 900.5 on the rears. He said the PDX V9 sounded better and was louder. I have no idea. I was like, okay, it's your car. Yeah. What's up, Fro?
Hey,
This
Jason?
week we'll have Fro Thursday night with Side Jag will be on.
Okay.
Kind of can't wait for that. We didn't have it this week because of Hi-Fi Vega's son was graduating. It's going to be 9:45 on Thursday night, right after Reverse Polarity, which comes on 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. And of course, tonight is Monday, which means we'll be on Facebook at 6:30 Eastern Standard Time for you guys to enjoy and ask questions. We got a great topic tonight that is something you guys ask a lot about, which has to do with preamp level output. We're gonna. It's actually finally it's like only like 4 or 5 slides, which is wonderful. But I believe it's gonna straighten out a lot of thought behind the misconceptions of a 4-volt preamp output. So I'm pretty excited about that. What's your recommendations for a Prius C small car? Small stereo, small amps, man. Something like this would be wonderful. These little tiny amps like this that put out tons of power. Yeah. What do you think about DS18? For a subwoofer, yeah, sure. I mean, Paul sells it. We don't really get a lot of chance to work with it here, but I have no problems with it. I have wondered why Toyota radios have so crappy when they were made by Fujitsu 10. Just wonder why they didn't carry over any quality. I mean, you got to remember, anytime a manufacturer makes something for another manufacturer, it is up to that manufacturer to dictate the terms in which they're going to make something. So just because two things are very similar, or two things come from a good builder or build house, doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to get the quality that you're accustomed to, because they all have budgets and they all have like, hey, we can build this. And like, yeah, that's not important to us. So they don't care, whereas you looked at what Fujitsu did for Eclipse, Fujitsu 10. I mean, they changed their name to Eclipse so people would buy them, but it was just one of those things where it's just what happens. I mean, Clarion made Nissan radios, and they still sucked. So, I mean, it's just Alpine and Pioneer both make OEM radios. It's a budget thing, man. It's always a budget thing. That's good.
So if I make something that you guys buy?
What's that?
If I make something you guys buy already?
Oh yeah, of course. The Fernando S2000. You bet, man. All right, listen, guys, we're gonna get back to work. Thanks so much for tuning in today. Hope you guys have a wonderful day. We'll see you tonight. This has been 5 Minutes with 5 Star.
Bye,
See
guys.
ya. He's a giant.
It's a what?
You're a giant. What we got? Do I have to print something for here tomorrow?
Yeah, 1 inch
Oh, okay.
by 3.
1 by 3?
1 by 3 right here.
Oh, just that
Not
big?
all the way.
Really?
Yeah, because my wire is gonna go here.
Oh, okay.
I don't want to cover the logo.
Oh, okay. What logo do you want?
I was thinking the Helix.
Because we got both. You sure you just want to put like a 5-star logo there? Like Fuse, or just a
Fuse. Yeah.
Or do I just cut out a 5-star logo and just screw it down? You know, instead of like making it a square, go for the 5-star shape. Or do I make it L-shaped and have like,
Well,
BLAM, Helix, 5-star?
if you were gonna do an L shape like this, definitely I wanted to have the model number of.
See, you're getting picky.
Okay.
But no, that's fine. We can do that
Yeah.
tomorrow. That'll be first thing in the morning.
Yeah.
Good afternoon, everyone. And this is what happens. You guys were just live for what? This is what goes on.
The discussion.
No, I'm not. I mean,
The discussion.
no, Johnny was like, danging. Why ask him? You're going to pick it always. No, that's not true. I want his idea as far as what he wants, and then I have to look at how much time it's going to take me to do it.
I would spend 3 hours in this, 5 hours.
Yeah, he would spend yes, he would. He would spend 5 hours building one of those with no qualms whatsoever. Aloha! I'll take 2. Put Fernando's face in the logo. Yeah, okay, don't do that. What was that?
Whoa,
Oscar, what's going on?
That's a horrible install right there.
Fernando's fuse designer always on point. Just teasing. I know, Johnny. I know. Trouble setting input gains using front Civic 2019 8-speaker 608. Am I supposed to be playing pink noise to see if... no, you don't want to use pink noise for setting gains because pink noise represents actual sound. You want to use some form of a test tone. So you don't necessarily have to use one test tone. You know, 1,000 hertz is nice, but sometimes you want to try like 1,000 hertz, 800 hertz, 8,000 hertz, and just kind of work your way through the tones, as it were. You know who has test tones to download, which I just noticed?
Kicker?
No. Well, yes, Kicker does have a lot of test tones to download.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? Just go to Kicker. Forget it. Never mind. I wasn't going anywhere with that. 2008 Rogue with Bose. Best place to tap into for sub is stock sub. Yeah, stock sub in the back, because I believe it's amplified back there. It might actually be variable voltage at the subwoofer. I'm never taking Sue's out to see.
Listen?
Yeah, I don't think I've ever looked at Sue's. I thought the amp was built into it, which if it is and it's variable voltage back there, you just solder RCA's on and call it a day. So definitely do some testing at the subwoofer itself.
Totally.
Because Nissan, one of the things Nissan does is a lot of variable voltage stuff. So is he getting dizzy yet? You know, not being used to the thin air up there.
What happened?
He says, "You getting dizzy? Are you getting dizzy yet? Not being used to the thin air up there?"
No, because I go back and forth. As soon as I feel it, I'm like, nope, that's not me. So yeah.
we got a new. If you guys remember, we had a blue one of these. We got a pink one, and of course, I got it too short, so now I got to order another one because this one's not tall enough for them. All 3 logos staggered. Yeah, it's definitely going to be all 3 logos. I don't know if I have the Helix logo or not yet. I'll have to go check. I know, obviously, I have BLAM because we put that all over this thing. Speaking of the amplifiers, let's take a look at those real quick. And hang on, let me grab a... Is the other light over here still? Yep. All right.
Has to be.
Yep. All right. So let me fill you in on what we got going on. We're making progress. We're actually pretty far along on this. We probably got another hour or 2 tomorrow just putting stuff back together, and then we'll get to the tuning part. But in the back here is the factory JBL amplifier that has to stay in place, but PAC makes these nice T-harnesses for us to get all our speakers from. So the factory amplifier was attached to the subwoofer. We've taken that out because we're going with this guy here. This is going to stay like this because he doesn't want to cut, and I don't blame him. I wouldn't want to cut it either. The seats go up high enough, you'll never see this, so there's nothing to worry about there. We made this panel here that attaches in. PAC makes this T-harness for the Amp Pro. that allows us to retain all our speaker wires, but keeps this data in the data bus. We made this board attached to this, so the factory plugs into here. This plug is not part of this, so this is just the factory plug that comes into it. If you want to retain the SOS feature in the car, you do have to run a wire up to this though and tap into it from the Amp Pro and the dash. But so that is all set, ready to go. I just got this whole side of the car back together. Fernando has the speakers in. It's nice to get something put back together. And then underneath this seat is the BLAM 501. So this is the 501 up here. Brackets made, it screws into place. This is just 16th inch ABS because we have a height problem in that we don't, there's tons of airspace underneath here, but this area right here is really thin. So we want to make sure the amplifiers stay tight up on the floor. Let's come around to the front side of that. All right, tip the seat back. So here's what we're looking at. And so the power wire goes up and through the center console. This is the sub wire yet to be done, so that's why that's just kind of sitting there. There is factory ground screws right here on both sides. It's a great place, just pull a 10mm out, screw it down, factory ground, awesome. RCA runs over to the Helix amplifier on the other side. Bass knob goes up. Subwire runs and comes down into this, which then it hides itself and goes back to that subwoofer which you saw laying on the floor. Remote turn on connects to the Helix as well. Everything is zip tied up into place. The speaker wires from the Helix amp, you can kind of see them here, that bundle there. What it does is it comes out, up, around, down, follows the factory air conditioning, comes around, and then comes and goes back to the factory amplifier. So it is as far away from everything as possible. But let's head over to the other side. This door is done with the BLAM logo. Speakers up in the dash. Factory radio is already put back in. We made a mount for the Amp Pro in there so that we wouldn't have to worry about it getting all goofy. And then this is the Helix. Give me 1 second here, sorry. So let's take a closer look at the Helix. It's an 8-channel amplifier. What we've done is we bi-amped the rear coaxials. So Fernando desoldered the tweeter from the main plug, soldered, ran a wire into here. So the green, orange, purple, orange. Orange is tweeter for us. Purple is position, just like white, orange, gray, orange. These are gonna be the front tweeters. These are gonna be the rear tweeters. So those wires come along. You can see this is the tweeter wire here, zip tied into place. And then the rest, so it comes and then loops here and comes back this way because I wanted it to follow the same path. This is that RCA going over to the subwoofer. There's 2 remote turn-on wires. One is coming from the Amp Pro that comes into this position here. And then the second one, this has 2 remote outs. So this is coming out of there to go off to the BLAM amp to turn that on. Ferrules all the way around. And then if you come over to this side, there's only one bit of wire attached here, which is the Toshlink connector. And it is very loosely connected here. And then of course that goes up into the dash into that. And then the bass knob is, there we go. All right, sorry about that. The bass knob is located right there. We just have to get that wire over to it. But that is the 8-channel in all its glory. All right, let's see what we got here. Have you guys added a sub to a Mazda CX-30 yet? If so, where did you tap in the signal? Honestly, I don't remember. I'm sorry.
Bose system?
If it's a Bose system, at the Bose subwoofer. If not, it's probably going to be one of the 2 driver's front speakers. And a lot of the cars, you want to tap the driver's front door speakers because there's usually some form of an active crossover, and that active crossover is on the rear speakers is usually crossed over higher than the front. So if you can, grab either driver or passenger front door. Alright, let's go here. Wired nicely, zip ties, not spaghetti. Well, like other, no, of course not. Come on, Victor. Yes, it's a Tacoma. Question: setting gains on D61200 with amp clipping light or bad idea? No, we use the amp clipping lights all the time. Yep. Any idea the mounting depth for a 2021 F-150 dash speaker? We haven't seen the dash speaker yet. The only 21s we've had just had the tweeters. I haven't seen that top dash speaker. The one we had didn't have that yet, so I don't know. I'm sure at some point we will. Pro tip of the day. If you're gonna do a dual seat amplifier mount like this, where like this RCA has to come over to that side, always wire up the highs amp with the RCA and run it to the sub amp. Don't go the other way, because the main DSP sub amp is typically gonna have, these things get so dirty. Like, it's like they just grab all kinds of dust. Anyways, this is going to have more wiring and be harder to add back in that RCA if you're trying to do pretty wiring like this. So always go out of the main amplifier over to the sub amp. That one's a lot easier to add the sub amp into, or add the RCA to that board, because there's not as much wiring going on in that. There's your pro tip of the day, Bobby. And with that, we're gonna call it a day. We gotta get out of here at 6:30. We got stuff to do. It's Tuesday. And well, Fernando wants to go home. Right, Fernando?
Always.
Always. All right, guys, thanks so much for tuning in. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye. Yeah, that'd be fun too. I think Australia would be better, but...
Oh, Australia would be cool.
Well, we wouldn't have to learn the language. You know?
Congora language?
I mean, we just gotta, you know, kind of change it. Hi, what's going on? You know, just kind of talk like that. Welcome to Australia. That's so bad, I know, but I mean, we could probably get away with it.
No.
You can pull off that accent, right? Give it a try. Just go with, throw another shrimp on the bobby.
No, I can't.
You can do it.
No.
Come on, man, do it. Do it. Why not?
I can't.
Before we went on live today, we were looking at a picture from our boys over there in Australia at ACDC, ACDV? AVDC. In Australia. ACDC back. Well, it's funny.
Good.
Yeah, but they're Australian.
Yeah.
So it's not like it's that big of a stretch. But anyways, we were checking him out here on Instagram. If you don't follow them, you should. He does awesome work. We were like, we should go to Australia. That would be fun.
Yeah.
And of course, Fernando was like, I think we should go to Japan. I was like, I think we could probably pull off the language thing easier over there. Install Passive Milli Pros, DM608, Night Premium. Can I time align? What speakers do I measure to? Measure to the mid-range and the mid-bass. Try the mid-range first. If it seems off, then go and type in the mid-bass. And then see what happens. You know, mid-range is usually where it's at, so you should be good there. But if it just seems slightly off, then change them to the mid-bass and see what happens. Putting a KTA 300 FW Alpine amp on a bike today.
Nice.
Room a zoom zoom. Hot dang. We're working on a Camaro today.
Yeah.
We're doing some fun in that. We're doing what we call the front stage upgrade in this Camaro, which is usually comprised of some form of a front stage active system with a subwoofer. And that's exactly what we're doing. Let's check out what Fernando, as Abba says, has got going on over here. He just got done doing the sound treatment and put the water vapor back on. The fastering is in place. We're going with a set of Morel 6x9s, 9x6s in the front door, so we get maximum mid-bass potential out of these bad boys. Nice thing about Camaro is there is tons of room in that door. The window doesn't even come into here, so if you're ever worried about depth, yeah, you got plenty of depth. You can almost fit an 8 in there if you wanted.
Oh, totally. You just make that plate and 8.
Yeah, 8 inch right in
awesome
there.
Right there.
Yeah, but the 6x9 Morel is no slouch. It has tons of mid-bass coming from it. So I have pre-work done. I don't know what, actually the hood was open because we wanted to see the battery's in the trunk, which I'll show in a minute, but it's a turbo 4-cylinder like my Mustang. I've never seen one, so we were like, let's take a look at this. And of course, like everyone, you got to put a cold air intake on your car. No, you don't, but it's there. Aren't the mid-range and mid-bass the same speaker components, tweeters, woofer, and door, which for time alignment? So you have a tweeter, a mid-range, and a mid-bass. So the small, medium, large. Meter to the medium, meter to the large. Put the medium in first, see if that works. If it doesn't, switch the numbers out for the large.
I need a hand.
He needs a hand. Hold on. What do you need?
Give me the
panel?
Yeah. No, the whole
container?
Yeah.
Container it is. You need some screws? You have your drill?
No, I got it.
Okay. All right, so back to the Morels. So this is the tweeter for the dash. This is gonna go up in there. And we've already, if you guys caught, well, you haven't seen that part yet. Anyways, so these are gonna go up. We laser them out, put a little 5-star logo on them. These will go right up in there. So this is the factory. I don't know where the factory was here earlier, but apparently it got moved. Do you know where the factory mid-range went?
Yes, and the floor.
It's on the floor? Oh, there it is. Sorry. So this is the factory mid-range here. So we've already done this car, so we scanned it in, printed out new ones. We'll set that right there. For amplifiers, let's head to the trunk. Thoughts on an LC 1.0 as a standalone amplifier with a factory head unit. Does the AccuBass fix factory EQ? Car's 2018 Honda Accord. It will fix factory bass roll-off. That's what the AccuBass is, and yes, it'll work wonderfully in the Honda Accord. We've done that before. It's fabulous. It'll work great. It has the high level to low level. The whole thing is it has an LC2I built into it, so it makes for integrating into a factory stereo seamless. Very, like, I don't like using the word easy to do, so we'll say better than most amplifiers because it has a really good high level to low level, and then it does have the AccuBass in it so that you can fix the bass roll off at higher volumes. What's a good 6.5 component that has a mid bass at an affordable price? Check out the Morel Maximus with the US Maximus, right? Check out the Morel Maximus. Yeah, those will get you in. Really nice. I think I have the wrong model number. Mine only has tweeters and mid bass doors. It's a 3-way component. Can't be a 3-way component if it doesn't have 6 speakers. If it has 2 speakers, it's a 4-way. Either way, if it's
So you got in the rear or what?
Yeah, I'm kind of confused. If it's a 3-way coaxial, or is it so if it's a 3-way that has a tweeter, a mid-range, and a mid-bass. If it just has a tweeter and a mid-bass, that's a 2-way. So either way, same applies. If it only has a tweeter and a mid-bass, go to the mid-bass. The big speaker on the bottom. How to get rid of engine noise. Man, that's a tough one. Could be the installation or it could be the equipment. If it's the installation, check your ground points, check your signal routing, check your RCAs. If it's the equipment, buy new equipment. There's kind of not a lot of a gray area in that one. How to improve your vapor barrier without ripping it, trying to install, how to remove. How do you remove the vapor barrier, Fernando?
Make sure you have a clean blade.
Clean blade, brand new blade.
Brand new blade.
He makes me buy boxes of blades. These, like, literally, we'll do one door, throw it away, and start over.
Yeah.
And then
grab it over here. Grab your blade, and it's easy to start. And then when you're done, just put it back, and everything goes back together.
Yep, because this door has already been apart and put back together.
Yeah, I mean, everything.
That's how you do it.
Yeah.
Thank you, Fernando. Pro tip of the day. There you go.
Woo!
All right. So going on in the trunk of this bad boy, there is the batteries right here. This is what we're going to do. So this guy is to hold up the little piece of wood that goes here. So we don't want to remove that, and we don't want to re-engineer it, because we went with the small Rockford Power Series amplifiers. We could fit everything over here, but there's a solid panel that goes right like this, so you don't get to see him, and he would like to see his amplifiers. So we made this piece of 1/8 inch ABS. These are the little factory screw points. We left some of them, and some of them we cut out of the way because there's way too many of them. And then this goes in like this. There's gonna be 2 connections. This will screw into place, and then our wires will route around this. There's our DSR1 for integrating into the factory radio. There is no integration for this. It's just, what we're going to do is come into the kick panels here. And down here, so this wire that I've already pulled down, it unclips, there's just one clip that holds it, is where it connects to the boot, which is right there. And we're going to grab our front speaker wires there, and we're going to do a 3-run system where we run 1 for signal, 1 for mid bass, and 1 for tweeter. So there'll be 6 pairs of wires that run up this side of the car. 3 of them will go here, 1 into the door, 1 from the factory, and then 1 up to the tweeter. And then on this side, it'll come across the dash area and attach here and do the same thing. So that's how that'll work. Can you help me with a replacement radio? It depends. Building a sub box, what's the best style speaker terminals? I mean, the best of the best, like holy crap, is check out the SMD from Steve Mead. Those things are freaking awesome. Oh yeah. Other than that, they're pretty much all the same plastic things. Yeah. But if you're looking for something like super extreme, go to SMDs or go to Steve Mead, which is, what is it, West W? Just type in SMD speaker terminals.
WC Car Audio.
WC Car Audio. Thank you, Fernando. Way to pay attention. You get those emails too, huh? See you guys back to work soon enough. But all right, so that is what's going on. The 2 amplifiers that are going to be running this system are a Rockford T404 for the front, and then the 750.1 for the rear. We have a Camaro box that we ordered that's for 2 10s. Do we know what 10s we have? Are they P3s?
They P3 10s. Yeah.
So yeah, so he's going with 2 P3 10s. We'll show you that tomorrow once we get further along. They're still sitting in there. It's gonna have grills. Here's the 6x9, and of course it'll have a bass knob. So what?
No, his name is funny.
Which one?
Rude.
Does he have bows? No, this is a 7-inch bass. So this is like an LT1 RS.
American bass.
But it has the 7-inch screen in it, so it's bass of bass. So there's nothing, there's no ANC microphones, there's no nothing. If it did have ANC microphones, there's a wire in the back that you can cut, or you can pull the door panels, and there's a microphone location located here on the door panels. Oh, it does have the microphones.
Yeah.
Oh, so we're gonna have to. Yeah.
So
Just did you unplug the?
Unplug it. No, not yet. As soon as I'm done, you can unplug it, or that's
yeah. So this does ANC. So you just unplug that microphone if you're changing the speakers out.
Yeah, that's it.
Or you can go into. I believe there is either a wire here, or if you want to get to the factory radio, the factory radio is located up in here. And then there's a, what color is it? Like purple with blue?
Gray purple.
Gray purple? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Purple with a gray stripe.
Yep.
Purple with a gray stripe. Yep.
Yeah, that's it.
I was told there'd be strippers.
Strippers?
Do you have strippers?
I love strippers. Oh, that type of strippers.
They're strippers. How does the BLAM sound? How did you like the BLAM yesterday, Fernando?
I like it. That was really nice. I enjoy the sound. Yeah, pretty good. A lot of power with the amplifiers, so that was good.
You liked them?
Yeah.
Yeah, the customer was super thrilled with them. He thought they sounded wonderful. As soon as he got in the car, the first thing he said was, "Oh my God, there's a sound stage." I was like, yeah. As far as what does that bundle of speaker wires going to look like, kind of like everything else. So what we'll do is how we decide what the wiring is going to look like is there's 4 basic colors of wire. There's white, gray, green, and purple. And depending on where it's at, this is white, that's gray, this is green, and the other side is purple, just like on a radio harness. Then we add in the second wire. In this case, this is orange. Tweeters are typically going to be orange or red, depending on what we have in stock as far as our remote turn-on wire goes. And then, so like here's white and orange, here's gray and purple, and then there'll always be the standard black. Now, if we're not doing high level to low level, then this will be the mid-bass wire. So this will always be mid-bass, or it'll be signal, meaning coming from the car. So we haven't, so we also will mix this in with gray. So we have a gray wire here. And then we also use blue that can be a mid-range wire. So if it's like a 3-way set, you'll have black, blue, and orange, or black, blue, and red. And then the signal could be gray, but that gets problematic because if you don't want 2 gray wires. So we just play with these until we come up. The other thing we'll do too, sometimes on the signal, is on this particular one. Do you remember what colors your wires were? Connected to the 6x9?
Yeah, blue and blue brown.
So blue and brown,
blue,
basically.
Solid blue is positive.
Yeah, so on this, it has a brown wire and a blue wire. So what I'll probably end up doing is I'll run a brown and a blue wire up, and that'll be our signal in, and then we'll have a white black and a white orange, and that'll be what it'll look like. And that way we'll know what's what and who's who and all that other. What type of speaker can fit in a 2020 Honda card? It's a 6.5.
2020?
Yeah, 2020 Honda Accord. It's a 6.5.
Yeah. Somebody say about a good mid-bass.
You're gonna have to cut the door if you're trying to get a good mid-bass in there, because the way the factory speaker is, the hole is too small. So anytime you see us put a mid-bass in the door, we cut.
Just the side.
Yeah, just the sides.
So go to metraonline.com, find the speaker brackets, and you see it comes in like an angle. That's what you need to cut in there. So
it's not
get the brackets.
Yeah, you gotta get the brackets. Yeah. I put the Kenwoods 6x9s, 174s in the rear of my 2017 Camaro LA. What can I do to get more volume and add a sub? Remember that 1LE does have stock amp. If it has the stock amp, it should be variable voltage going into the stock amp. Add a bigger amplifier. I mean, that's really what it comes down to. More power, man. That's how you get louder, is you need power. So
Oscar
need power.
How was the V8? That was good, man. I really liked the amplifier.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, that was really nice.
It was fun. And yeah, the only problem we had was Jeff's fault. At the end of the day, Jeff screwed us up on that one.
All right, so that will be the tip of the day.
Don't listen to Jeff Smith.
No, if you have a Toyota with JBL, Tacoma.
You don't need to flick the dip switch 3.
Dip switch.
So on the new Amp Pro TY13, they have dip switch 3. As we know, we've talked about dip switch 3 on different versions. On each version of the Amp Pro, dip switch 3 does something different. On a GM, it sums for FM and Sirius XM tuners. On a Toyota, it adds a dB boost to the output of the radio, because in certain radios, the output volume is not very good, so it increases the output voltage. And so Jeff was like, flick the switch, and we're like, okay. And so we just flicked the switch, put it in, and the problem we had was there was too much signal coming out of the radio, and it was clipping the factory radio output, so everything sounded distorted and terrible. Pulled it back apart, flicked the switch, and everything went back to normal. So depending on the Toyota, if you get in there and there's not enough sound, like you're having to crank the gains, flick the switch and it'll fix it. In this case, there was too much sound and it was just a distorted output. Thank God all we had to do is flick the switch and life went on. We already had a tech tip of the day, Bobby. We already had it.
That's good.
So I mean, at this point, you just kind of got to go with what you can get your hands on.
Yeah.
I'm not familiar with the Nakamichi, but I mean, I am familiar with the Sony. So, yeah. Nice flush cutters, Fernando.
I know, man. Love them.
Yeah.
That's so nice.
Is Trio even still around? I got a Trio amp somewhere. What is a good aftermarket radio for a 2019 Ford F-150? I mean, I would go with a floating Kenwood personally, you know, or the floating JVC. You can probably still get one of those with an RR MFT1 kit, and you're all set, rocking and rolling, having a good old time. 2018 Sierra cab, should I do 2JL shallow 10S's or 12s? I listen to hip hop and would like some deep bass, or should I do square kickers or sundown shallows? I'm so conflicted.
Oh man, no.
All right, here's the thing. Anything that goes underneath the seat and you're thinking shallow, you're gonna like, if you really like a lot of bass, you're gonna be like, bummer.
No.
If you want to go crazy, head over to MTI Acoustics and you can get the lift seat kit. Mm-hmm. And if you get the lift seat kit, then you could probably fit 4 10s, like L7 T10s underneath that seat and like blow your mind. You don't have to go crazy on the box either. They make like level 1, which is just carpeted box.
Oh dude, I was thinking more like
or you could go Bobby Gately, get
Bobby
the lift,
Gately 4/8.
Well, I think it's 6/8. It's 6/8. It's not. Or yeah, you can do 4/8. You can do 4/8 too.
4/8, but dude.
Get the big
it's
suckers.
Insane.
Get some of those B2.
Yeah.
B2 8-inch. We've heard that. That's stupid. It's stupid in a good way.
That.
What
That's Aaron from Colombia.
Hey. Inside joke.
Well, I like my shirts, man.
They're so terrible. Dude, they're so terrible. Mine even has a hole in it. Like it's.
Oh, really?
Yeah, this one's terrible.
Wow.
Yeah, it's yeah. It's kind of in my, you know, we'll get new shirts. That's what every morning Sue goes, you need to order new shirts. I'm like, I need to design them. Would it be worth it to go to MTI boxes from a Fox box, 210s? No, not at all. Fox box is a fabulous box. The reason why we haven't been talking about Fox box a lot lately is because they had the fire, and they're not really up to full production yet. So they have certain models in stock, but they don't have certain models in stock. So you got to kind of, you know. Plus, with the MTI, you do have more choices. So, like, if you wanted to do 4 square 10s, you could, because they'll build you whatever you want.
All right, so for the Nakamichi and the Sony, like, we're not familiar with the Nakamichi radio.
Yeah, just the Sony.
We know how it works, the Sony. So if you ask me, I would go with the Sony.
Just because we know it.
Because I don't know the Nakamichi, but yeah.
Yeah, got to know what you know.
Right.
Go with what you know. You can never have too much cowbell. No, you can't.
I remember this.
How you guys doing? How you doing, Fernando?
I'm good, but I'm going to show you something.
Oh,
Yeah.
We got 2 boxes. I almost forgot. Oh, heck yeah. All right, hold on. We got 2 boxes in today, guys. Yeah, good point. Thank you, Fernando, for reminding me. All right, what do we got? Who's it from? Who's it from?
Oh, this one is from our friends from Audio Control in Washington. Love Washington.
Never been there.
Never been there. I love the Seahawks.
We'll get you there.
So,
we'll get you there. Drive past the stadium and you can just go.
Oh, dude. I'm going to go.
Next time,
All right,
bro.
ready?
Yes. Hey, we got him this time.
Ooh.
So this is the new Matrix. It's not the bass knob like we got last time and got super excited. So they're finally back in stock. So if you've had a Matrix on back order, this is the new Matrix Plus, which is like a third smaller. This is a super high-end salt and pepper line driver. Why I say salt and pepper is because, like anything else Audio Control does, is they've added the Audio Control magic to it and makes it sound just a little bit cooler. So we'll be playing with one of these, getting it in the car and seeing what it does.
Yeah.
So
but
we got
good thing.
We got 2 of these to play with, so I'm super excited about that.
All right.
And we got another box all the way from Canada.
From Canada?
Yeah, our boy Canadian Marty. Not to be confused with Marty Dean. That's why we call him Canadian Marty. For those of you that are going, why do you call him Canadian Marty?
Yeah.
because we don't want to confuse the two, and
Right.
Fernando's brain works better when he has a reference point to judge people by. As far as, so if I just say Marty, he's like, which Marty are you talking about?
Exactly.
So we call him Canadian Marty, and he sent us a box.
Yep.
Which I'm super excited about, because he's been like, hey man, your box is almost there. Hey man, so we've been tracking this box for like a week and a half. So pretty excited to see what's inside of it.
I'm gonna rip the box.
I was gonna say, you can go to town on that one, Steve. This is, by the way, the official Steve Mead. It's
a radio.
It's a radio. Look at that. Hey. Oh, what do we got? Hey guys, enjoy some treats from North in Chile, Canada. Ooh.
Oh man.
Your friend, Canadian Marty.
Hey man.
Hey, when he says, oh, screw that. Dude, I have always wanted to try these. Everyone says that the Lay's ketchup chips are like the stuff to have.
Oh, dude.
So, I know what I'm eating as soon as the show's over, because like it's lunchtime. And then we got
this is like heaven.
those hickory sticks.
Woo.
Hickory sticks. Hey, y'all got them hickory sticks? Oh, coffee crisp. So basically what we got is a box of, it's like a yum box. Oh, cheesy poo.
Salsa Valentina.
So he sent us a box of, I love
Mars.
Mars bars are the best. So he just sent us a box of Canadian treats.
Dude.
Super excited. So any
This is the
two of
best.
each. Oh yes, we're gonna have fun with that. So thank you, Marty. You're the man.
You are the man.
So if you see me later today and I'm like super hyped or
You
super,
just made
yeah,
my
you know
day.
why. When is it good to run speaker wires versus factory wires? I mean, if you have an old car, I would say maybe, but most factory wiring isn't terrible. With the amount of power that you're going to be running to them, like anything under 100, 110 watts, with the proper crossover points and whatnot, your factory wiring is going to do the job. Certain cars, let's say some of the older Chryslers and stuff, or some Nissan trucks, where Johnny Brolin in the house. What's up, Johnny? What's shaking?
Right now?
Just
the phone.
Just the phone, exactly. Anyways, some of the older vehicles where like they get corrosion in the door boots and stuff like that, then obviously you're gonna need to go back and run new wiring and fix that. But drilling through your boot and running a bunch of like wire to run wire, you're really not doing anything extra other than just making your life very difficult. So yeah. And a lot of these cars nowadays, they're just not set up for you to run wiring into the door, because you're going to have to destroy the Molex plug that's there to do it. And I don't recommend doing that at all. If you're one of the guys that feels like I have to have new wiring, maybe just go to the kick like we're going to do in this car with the wiring. And then, because, 2 feet of whatever the factory wiring isn't going to hurt anything, because it's not going to make a difference either way.
All right, so for you, $10 in the 18 Sierra, he doesn't want to lift the seat.
Oh, he doesn't want to lift the seat?
So I think the Bobby Gailey
If he makes a box that
goes
you can,
right there.
well, also MTI does make a box for
MTI makes that.
the
yeah.
non-liftable boxes too. So if you
Nah.
don't want to lift the seat, that's fine. If you want, I would look at the L7Ts. Maybe you get a box for some L7Ts. If that's not in the budget, then our go-to speaker is either the Comp RT, or if you want just something that handles a lot of power. Like we heard some Sundown Shallows yesterday.
No, he liked a lot of bass.
crazy.
He won a lot of crazy bass.
But I'd look at the L7Ts, see what you can get. But yeah, you could do 4 6.5s too.
Now the JLTW3 is
It's a very nice woofer as well.
That one is good
Yep.
too. So yeah,
Yep.
you got plenty.
Yeah, so maybe do 12s. Have you been playing music through Bluetooth or even have my DSP? Oh, wait. So, Dean, I've been playing music through Bluetooth and even have my DSP tuned to that. However, recently just got USB to aux for phone to hook up aux input to car. It's a bit quieter, though. It might be because, remember, you have to turn up the volume on your phone. So, just like you did on your Bluetooth, Also, depending on the car itself, if it's an aftermarket or factory radio, some of those are down lower. And like if it's an aftermarket radio, you can go into source level control and turn the level up. If it's a factory radio, you just have to turn the radio up more. It's going to be the same either way. Listen to hip hop. I want bass. I do. Okay, so yeah, do 2 Kicker Square 12s. I would go over the Kicker 12s.
I'm coming over for lunch.
Is that model 6x9 on the table? Yeah, it is a 6. Yes, it's the Morel 6x9
model.
Yeah, Morel.
Yeah, it's the Morel.
That's it.
Tempo Ultras.
Yeah, that's the bad boys there. Wow, I haven't seen someone turn a radio box inside out. Oh, come on, you know you've done it. You know you've done it, Johnny. Yep, those are the chips.
Yeah.
I'm coming over for lunch.
All right, bring some lunch.
Okay, Aaron. Crazy how the packaging is the Kit Kat and Mars bar packaging. Yes. Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty good.
I don't care. It all tastes the same. Yeah. Marty, you forgot the score bar. You can get score bars at what's that stupid restaurant that I
restaurant?
Yeah, there's a restaurant. The one with
that's Summit.
The one that you never want to go to because the food all sucks. That has the country store in the front of it. It's on all the highways. Cracker Barrel.
Okay.
Yeah, you can get those at Cracker Barrel.
There you go.
He's all jacked up on Mountain Dew. Do you drink Mountain Dew? I don't. I haven't had a Mountain Dew in probably 20 years.
No.
Since I was a kid, for sure.
Just Coke, man.
Yeah, it definitely raised the sugar level. Yeah, just Coke. I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, definitely don't know what you're talking about. All right, guys, listen. Hey, it's been fun. We got to get back to work, but it's Thursday night, so make sure you head over to the Hi-Fi Vega Network over there on YouTube, where you can see Reverse Polarity at 8:30. Tonight, we're going to be talking about the knowledge or skill set you have to be an installer, part 2. So we're going to dig deep into that. Hopefully, he's got more sleep than he got last night. And also after that at 9:45, we're gonna have Side Jag. The show is Foot Fist Way, which we're gonna reviewing, and we're gonna have our guest tonight is Froze House. Jason from Stereo Kings is gonna be our guest. We're gonna talk about that, what's going on in his life, our lives, your lives. It's a lot of fun. So that is over on Side Jag at 9:45. Make sure you catch one of those tonight. And if you miss it tonight, you can always watch it tomorrow.
That's right.
All right, guys. We got to get out of here and back to work. You have a great rest of your day. We'll see you later.
Guys.
Bye.